Elena and Marcus had been inseparable since the day they met. Their love was the kind that poets wrote about, deep, passionate, and unwavering. But life, as it often does, had other plans. It started with a cough. At first, Marcus dismissed it as a lingering cold, but when it didn't go away, Elena insisted he see a doctor. The diagnosis was devastating, stage 4 lung cancer. The doctors gave him 6 months, maybe a year if he was lucky. Elena refused to accept it. She quit her job to care for him, spending every moment by his side. They filled their days with laughter, tears, and quiet moments of intimacy. Marcus, ever the optimist, tried to shield her from his pain, but Elena saw through his brave facade. One night, as they lay in bed, Marcus turned to her and said, "Promise me something." Elena's heart clenched. "Anything," she whispered. "Promise me you'll find happiness again after I'm gone. Don't spend the rest of your life mourning me. Live, Elena, for me." Tears streamed down her face as she nodded. "I promise," she said, though the words felt like a betrayal. How could she ever be happy without him? Marcus smiled, his hand tightening around hers. "And promise me we'll meet again, in another life, another time. I'll find you, Elena, I'll always find you. I promise," she said, her voice breaking. When Marcus passed away, Elena was lost. She moved through the days like a ghost, her grief a heavy weight on her chest. She kept her promise to Marcus in the only way she knew how, by living. She went to work, paid the bills, and even forced herself to socialize with friends. But inside, she was hollow. She began searching for signs of Marcus everywhere. In the flutter of a bird's wings, the whisper of the wind, the scent of his cologne in a crowded room. She visited psychics, mediums, and spiritualists, desperate for a connection. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't find him. Years passed, and Elena grew older. Her friends moved on, finding new loves, new joys, but Elena remained stuck in the past, unable to let go. She visited Marcus's grave every week, bringing fresh flowers and sitting for hours, talking to him as if he were still there. One day a neighbor, a kind, widowed man named Daniel, invited her over for dinner. He had lost his wife years ago and understood her pain. Over time, they grew close, sharing stories of their lost loves and finding solace in each other's company. Daniel was patient and gentle, never pushing Elena to move on, but always there, a steady presence in her life. One evening, as they sat on his porch watching the sunset, Daniel turned to her. "Elena," he said softly, "it's okay to be happy. Marcus would want that for you." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "I know," she said, "but I made him a promise, and I don't know how to keep it." Daniel took her hand. "You don't have to forget him to find happiness. He'll always be a part of you, but you deserve to live, Elena, really live." Elena nodded, but the guilt remained. That night, she sat alone in her living room, surrounded by memories of Marcus. She picked up a photo of him, his smile frozen in time, and whispered, "I'm trying, Marcus, I'm trying." Elena never remarried. She never fell in love again, but she found small moments of joy in Daniel's friendship, in the beauty of a sunrise, in the laughter of her grandchildren. She honored Marcus's memory by living, even if it wasn't the life they had imagined together. When Elena passed away many years later, she was buried beside Marcus. On her tombstone were the words, "Loving wife, devoted friend, forever his." And in the quiet of eternity, she and Marcus were finally reunited.